community, and you're listening, hearing, watching The Michael Finkley Show.
Hey, what's up? I'm Tony Terry, and you're watching The Michael Finkley Show. You gotta listen to The Michael Finkley Show. I do. Peace.
My name is Rhonda Saunders. I'm shouting out The Michael Finkley Show, okay?
See, I like Saw. You know, I like Saw because of her edges. You know, because she got that baby hair. If you are not watching The Michael Finkley Show, you are behind the times. Catch up and watch my brother Michael Finkley wherever he is.
All right. This is Diamond Jack, and I would want to shout out Michael Finkley. He's amazing, y'all, and I love him so much already, and I just met him.
This is your boy Kenny Lewis, and guess what? I'm here with my boy Michael Finkley on RokuTV and YouTube.
He'll always win. Why? 'Cause he's undefeated. I will make it. If I can make it through the night, just to see a brighter side. 'Cause I've been working all my life just to make it. If I can make it through the night.
To the Michael Finkley Show. Thanks for being with us today. Y'all, I am just in awe of when people go after their dreams and their passions in life. Y'all, it's just nothing greater in the world than reaching that potential that you see that is your own personal success. As I always say within my shows and to my guests as I'm talking with them, the Michael Finkley Show, has been a true dream of mine for years on top of years. Y'all, I always say as my sisters because, yeah, they know. Trust me, they know what's up. But I just love seeing that. It gives me the energy and the juice to continue because, y'all, we're winning. And we're all winning different ways. We define success and winning in different ways. So, y'all, continue to win. Continue to do you. Don't allow people to allow you to say that you can't or allow you to think that you can't. If you know that you know that you know you can, just do it. Go do it. You know, I used to say this to a coworker all the time. Just do it. Y'all, go ahead and do it. Just do it. Just do it. Have at it. The worst that can happen is you fall flat on your face, right? But you learn from that and you get up and you continue to go forward, right? We have those times. We're going to fail, but I thank God for the failures because we learn from them, we improve from them, we move on. So go and do it. Life last year taught us that life is too short. Pandemic, hello, but go do it. Go do it. We don't have time to waste. Go do it. I never want to have the conversations though, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I ain't got time for that. You know, let's just be our great selves. Let's go be great. Go be great. Do you. And that's what our guests are doing today. They're doing them. They're doing themselves, right? They're living in their own path, their own vision, and their own mindset. We have Earnest Miller and also Steve the Legacy. Y'all, one deals with fitness, and he's also a podcast host of his own podcast, and the other is an inventor. Which is which? You have to find out. Back in a moment, y'all.
Coming up, Steve the Legacy. Don't you go away.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Bill Whitehouse Jr. with Dan Chef Pound Talk, and you're watching The Michael Finkley Show on RokuTV and YouTube, baby.
Next, Finkley. He is the guy you know. Entertainer reporter Nick Gallo is with us. He talks with us about his rise in the industry, how he got started, celebrity friends, future plans, and more. You do not want to miss this exclusive interview with Nick. Friday.
She is flexible and she is a multitasker. She is a wife, a mom. She is city councilwoman.
When I was growing up, Mom worked outside the house, and so my dad was an entrepreneur. I saw him leaving early in the morning or late at nights to go meet with clients, and he was always one who told me, if you show up on time, you're late.
I just admire how she's able to not only juggle the demands of her jobs, but keep her family really first.
The outstanding thing about the Isaac family is their noble contributions to improving the quality of life for our Colombians and people all over this state.
I, Tamika Isaac, do solemnly swear.
Discharge the duties thereof, so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations and best wishes.
I first ran because I saw a need, I saw a void that needed to be filled, a voice that wasn't there. And over the last several years, I feel like I've been able to be that voice.
So often as women in whatever spaces that we're in, we're often discounted because we're a mom or we're a wife or we have this career, and she's an everyday woman who shows women what excellence looks like.
She has walked the walk of being a small business person, of being a parent, of sending her kids to school.
Columbia is a great place, and we have done a lot in the last few years as far as law enforcement. But law enforcement can't do everything, nor should it do everything. We have to really expand upon the tools, technology, and community policing, investing in our communities so that law enforcement is a partner with our communities. Being a Columbia native, I've seen the way this city has grown. It's grown to the point that sometimes not everybody's been a part of that growth. I want to make sure that communities, specifically communities of color, make sure that they are part of Columbia's present and its future. I want to have a climate plan for this city that not only helps us be sustainable, but also helps provide opportunities for folks in the workforce. There are so many opportunities to take advantage of technology, green energy. I want to be the advocate for growing our city and being on the forefront, not just looking at what other cities are doing and following them, but being the leader.
If you don't have the right leadership, you're going to miss a lot of opportunities.
I think having a woman as mayor of the city of Columbia is long overdue.
I'm Tamika Isaac Devine, and I'm running for mayor of the city of Columbia.
And hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Now, my next guest, he's an author. He's an inventor. He's also a coach. I definitely want to get more into the inventions that you have created, but we're going to talk about that more. He is Steve, the Legacy. Steve, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Michael, for having me. I'm excited to be on your show today.
Oh, thank you for saying yes. We appreciate you. And I'm excited to hear your story in your own words. Let's start with this name, Steve the Legacy. Where did it come from? Steve the Legacy. Where did it come from?
So as a kid, I'm a junior. And I thought about a new type of technique because, when you're a junior, they either call you Junior or for me, they called me Stevie, and, it grew attached to it. But my father, when he died, I wanted to pay honor to his name. So, I'm a legacy of him. So it just, one day it just came to my head and I just said, see the legacy. I think that's a nice little tagline. And then it grew on me, and I use it as a stage name for when I talk or stages and things like that. And now I use it even when I write books. So Steve the Legacy is like attached to. I'm about to just change my name to Steve the Legacy. Just call it a day. But yeah, so that's where the name came from.
I hear you. And what we're about to get into, I see that you are making a legacy for yourself because the name fits. The name truly fits. So let's go back. Philly, you're 11 years old and you start inventing different things, right?
Yeah.
How did this come about? What was your first invention at 11 years old?
So it's amazing. I wrote this in my book, Patent Secrets That They Don't Want You to Know About. That it started, I used to watch Family Matters, and Steve Urkel was inventing. I did not know anything about any Black inventors as a kid, because I was really, and it's funny, when I was writing my book recently, I was like, man, the inspiration, where did I get it from? Well, watching Steve Urkel every Friday. He always had the crazy inventions that started off working good and then they crashed. But one thing I loved about him was that he just was always determined. He never gave up. So that kind of inspired me. And one day, it was one Saturday morning, went to the barbershop, and I'm sitting there waiting to be served. And I noticed all the hair on the floor. Mm-hmm. So crazy, quirky idea came to mind. And that first idea was a pair of clippers that when you cut, it sucks the hair in and it goes into a compartment, so it doesn't, go on the floor anymore. So I named it the Clean Cut. So I drew it at a little sketch I did, and I said, well, I need to get some odds and ends to create a prototype. So at the time, I used to work with my grandma at the flea market, Tycone Palmyra in Jersey, flea market. Been working since I was 11, working with her every Saturday. So I went there, found an old vacuum cleaner, found some old clippers, and I, started taking things apart, adding things together, and actually built my first little prototype called a Clean Cut. So did not realize that the science fair was coming up about a week or two later, and I entered that invention into the science fair. Mm-hmm. And I went up first. It was best of school, and then I had all these different awards and the news and everything like that. But the challenge was that after the initial fair was over, what I'm gonna do with this invention? How can I get it a patent? Well, at the time I didn't know what you had to do as far as with the patent process, but how do I protect it? Or how do I get rich? That's what I was thinking about. But it fell by the wayside, and I felt as though that the resources were there. And by that not being there, it kind of really stumped my dreams of actually, wanting to be famous for doing something big like that. Mm-hmm. And I thought that itch was gone until it started to resurrect years later. And that's where the beginning of that process, that's where it came from.
Wow, amazing. And and the most amazing part about it is that you yourself are this determined individual, and you decided to continue on even in present day. So let's talk about this process, right? Let's just narrow some things down here. Let's talk about the process. You created some awesome publications or a teaching person step-by-step instructions on how to actually get things patented as they invent these things. What is the most important aspect that a person needs to know when they are in the process of patenting something they created?
First of all, you want to define why you actually doing it in the first place, mm-hmm. and what pain point that you're solving. Everything starts with pain point. We all have problems, but most people don't want to come up with solutions. So you want to be that one that comes up with that solution and figure it out. So I started changing my sentences and my questions in my head of, I don't know how can I? Every time I say how can I, it kind of activates the subconscious mind, and that's when I start to get real creative and different things. Like recently, outside of the one that got patent, everybody's into that 360 foldable thing, right? So I don't know if you ever experienced that yet, but
I have. Yeah.
Okay. So what I was doing, I'm always trying to go above. At first, I was gonna get me, to add to my foldable business, but I said, wait a second, the maestro Steve, wait a second, instead of me spending $3,000 on one, let me see what I have as far as odds and ends around my house that I can build my own. But I wanted a different design. I wanted to be an overhead, like a propeller. And I wanted to, like how a fan is spinning. So I said, well, how can I do this? And that's when I started asking the questions. And it's amazing when you ask those questions, your subconscious mind tends to find out what you had that you did not realize you had to bring that to life. And it's funny, the willpower of me wanting to bring that overhead 360 to life caused me to find something, like I had like pipes and stuff that I was using for backdrops and things like that. And I turned it into an overhead 360. And that's actually patent pending right now too now. But that's when you start to really find out different problems and you can create the solution. That's how you really get the motor running. So that's the first thing you do in that process of inventing. And I use that example by telling you that because that's something where the problem was I wanted one, but I wanted to be different from everybody else's. I didn't want to pay the $3,000 for one, but I said it'd be cool to have an overhead version. How can I do that? How would I build it? What would be the first thing? How should it look? Sketch it out. And then you find the pieces, stuff that you already have hanging around. That's how I built my first prototype for the wandering that got patented. Stuff I had hanging around. I was booking events and stuff before I even had it already done. You got to see the ending before you start the beginning. I never act on anything that I did not see the ending first. If I don't see the ending first, I don't start. I got to see everything play out. That's why when everybody catches up and say, oh my gosh, I already seen it already. When I went to the events and I did the parties and stuff, I was already at the party already. I used to go to Google Maps to see how the actual layout. I know where I'm gonna be at. I know where to position. I even had, all right, if it malfunctioned, what to do. Because, you know, people, they don't have patience. Things go crash on you. You got to figure out something quick. So I had to think that in advance in the living room, what I had to do. So in the process, you're not going to have everything you need to get started. I don't want you to have everything. I want you to start to get your reasons of why first, and then the pain point stuff to grow. And then the solutions start to build on top of the pain point. And then we go from there. Do not list what you don't have. Do not list what you can't do. List what you do have. List what you can do. Once you change that mindset of thinking, you can create anything.
I love that. One piece at a time, as one of my friends always says, brick by brick, right? And it goes into that legacy that we were talking about before, that it is part of your brand. But not only are you working for yourself, but you're working again for that legacy. Your daughter is involved within this awesome legacy, and she started her own business. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so my daughter, she always had like a sense of just creative, just thinking things like that. So I said, well, let's start off with a popcorn business. So, you know, I had to get a popcorn machine. I got the popcorn box and stuff like that. And this is another thing. Most people think that when they have an idea, they got to act on it right away. You got to get pieces sometimes in place. Everything is timing. You know, like, for example, I did not know the pandemic was coming. I was in the middle of a lawsuit with my neck the same year I was coming out with the wandering in my patent, right? And it's funny, like, it's funny that when I was thinking, if I would have held out in 2019, not knowing what was going to happen in 2020. See, I mapped out everything about what I was going to plan for that year, but I did not know that year was going to help really format 2020 and 2021, knowing that I'd probably miss out on 1 year of a lot of effectiveness. Did not know that. So I had a lawsuit going on for my neck. And it's funny, the lawyer called me, and this is where I had the prototype with the wandering. I'm doing events and parties all over the city, right? So lawyers, they do their work, they do their homework. So the lawyer called me one day, and I said, hey, Mr. Weinstein, what's going on? He said, yeah, Steve, everything's going good, but I have a question. I just got to ask, I got a question. What is the wandering? And when I heard it on the phone, I was like, I really want to know about the wandering. The reason why, he said, first of all, hey, I love what you're doing, but right now, remember, you're in the middle of a lawsuit. And I was in pain, but I still had to pay the bills while you're waiting for this thing to go. But that lawsuit was going to be monumental, right? And it went from monumental to like this overnight because of the fact that they were like, well, he's doing this, but they did not know I was on pain medicine and all this other stuff to get things, but they did not know. But Mr. Weinstein was like, hey, look, just keep doing it. And I kept doing it because I knew that the time was now. If I would have waited and said, let me wait till 2020, look what happened. You know, and that's another thing. Jim Rohn, one of my mentors, he said it best. He said the perfect time to actually act on an idea is when the emotion is strong. See, that emotion has to be strong. When it's not strong enough, it tends to fizzle out. If I did not act on what I know I need to do at that point in time, then you start to fizzle out. And a lot of people, that's the reason why a lot of people fizzle out on certain things that they start, because the emotion is not strong, the why is not clear, and they don't have no direction. Take out direction, take out the why, take out the emotion, that's nothing but disaster. So that's the reason why it doesn't work. But if they apply that, then they're able to succeed in everything they do, as long as they power their belief in a way that they know that they actually can do it. See, most people's beliefs are so small, myopic. When I learned that word myopic, and I learned that a long time ago, I didn't really understand it. Understand it at first, because you got to stop being so myopic. And I hate when people use the words. I'm like, where you find that word at? But then I looked up the definition, and I was like, oh, I'm narrow-minded. You're not really seeing all around. You're just so focused, so small, you're not seeing the big picture. Well, I know on this go around, I seen the whole big picture. I seen the wandering being in the stadiums. I seen the wanderings being in different events. I seen franchises for the wandering. I seen the marketing value. It's not just taking a picture, but there's little billboards around the edges of the actual pictures that he's taking, and you send them to people's emails and their phones. I see the big picture before I started it. So when it was time to see the big picture and it's time to act, it's time to act. Most people want to go forth and want to get everything perfect. Then they want to strike. No, I didn't have anything perfect. I was pitching my ideas I had events at the Hilton, right? 400 people, right? I started off with a 1-year-old birthday party, and I'm pitching the ideas of 400 people. Yes, I can do it. Yes, yeah, I'll be there. Let's sign a contract. Did not know what I was doing, but you don't have to know. You just have to have the will to do it. And what I did was for that week, I had like a week in far as like a buffer of time to get myself situated. All right, let me look at the layout. I went to the event early, see how big it was. You know what I mean? Mapped it out in my head where my station is going to be. Remember I told you before how I had to see myself already there before it happened, where my station is going to be, before the people even show up. How am I going to do it? What happens if it fell? And look, it did fail. But I was able to understand that because I already mapped out ahead of time. See, I tell everybody that I actually teach and what I actually motivate that there's 7 steps to goal setting. First step is writing down your why. Second is listing the what, right? The third thing is listing your obstacles and adversity. That third thing is very important that most people don't listen to goal setting. What are the obstacles? What are the adversities that you're going to face along the way? People don't want to see that. That's why when it does happen to them, they fizzle out. But I mapped out already ahead of time. What is going to be the obstacles? What's going to be the adversities? What's going to probably stop me? What if the connections, because the way how the wandering was set up, it was Wi-Fi. What if it breaks in the middle of you taking these pictures? What happens? Well, how are you going to handle it? And I had to think of all that stuff ahead of time, and it did happen. And I was waiting to recuperate myself. I said, oh, they're going to wait. But you can't show your fear to these people. And this is what I show fear. When time fear want to creep up, you show your plan. When you show your plan to fear is like, this guy knows what he's talking about. You know, I can't function with this man. He has a plan. I'm here, but he's going to know me because he's so focused on the plan. Most people are so myopic on the fear that they can't even see the plan because they don't have the plan. Because the fact is, the plan is not even put together because the fear already overtaken the plan. So the thing is that when you have that fear, show your plan. First of all, you better have a plan first. That's the only way you can activate it.
That's where it starts. That is where it starts. Wow. Just hearing in your story about, you know, the different obstacles and how you were able to actually overcome them, right? To get where you know you needed to be and wanted to be in life as well. It's just amazing to hear. What is that next biggest thing that Steve is working on?
Well, so it's funny. So I got a board game called Dictionary Daddy. Layla and I, we created it. That's one of the actual businesses too as well. We created a board game. One Saturday morning, she was like, she always asked me questions. I always give her answers for it, you know, because growing up, you know, you ask your parents questions like, because I say something, they always try to ignore it. But me, I like to, when she asked these, she's a little mature for her age. So when she asked me these questions, I give her the answers for it. When I give her the answers for it, she loves to have that knowledge stored. And she was like, Daddy, you like a dictionary daddy. I said, that's an awesome name. So I said, you know what, let's turn that into a board game. I didn't know what to do. That's another thing. I didn't know how the game was going to be, but it's going to be a dictionary daddy. And that's how we started off. So instead of watching cartoons, we went in the living room. We started sketching out different ideas, how the board going to be, how the design going to be, what we're going to do from there, the characters, what they're going to look like. I started designing all that stuff. I said, later, I'm going to turn this to a game. Watch this. She said, okay, Daddy. I went to my illustrator. He cleaned it all up for me. I said, I need the board to be like this. I need it to be like that. I'm already mapping out how the game is going to be, how much it's going to cost me to make, how much each piece is going to cost me, how much I'm going to sell it for. I'm doing all this while I'm waiting for the illustration to come.
Right.
And I put out a date of what it was going to be released, even when I didn't have an idea. All I had was a flyer saying coming soon. So that's another thing. Those coming soon flyers got to be powered with a plan too as well. Because you can keep on saying you're coming soon. There was a church, and that was good, not too far from here. It had a billboard of how the church was going to look. It was a lot. How it was going to look. That billboard to this day is still standing there. You can have the image you want, but if it's not a plan or the monetary thing to actually get it going, that's all you're going to have, and it's going to stay a lot. Yeah. So I said, Layla, I'm going to turn this thing into a game. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't know how to do it. I'm not no Milton Bradley and Hasbro. I was trying to pitch it to them. They didn't get back to me. You think I'm going to sit and wait? That's another thing. Opportunity sometimes is not going to knock. Opportunity, you're going to try to kick down the door. Majority of the time, when I was getting into these gigs with the Wandering, I didn't knock on the door. I kicked them down. I had to convince them that they needed the Wandering. They never knew what it was, but I got to convince you that you need it. I got to make a reason why. I got to show you the wow factor before it comes. I got to bring you the excitement. If I'm not sure about my thing, of course you're not going to be sure coming out your pocket. So I had to make that excitement. It went from a free birthday party when I first came out to me going $500 to $600 a gig. How does that happen? That don't just happen like that.
Exactly.
It doesn't work that way. But if you can't, and this is one of Dick and Davis, he's from the Harlem Globetrotters. He says, if you can't seize it, you will never see it. So you got to seize it first. Then you be able to see it. And that's where, that comes from that. So yeah, so Dictionary Daddy's already released right there. But my latest thing, I did not know Phase 10, the card game, was invented by a black guy. For some reason, when I'm finding out that these other people that's my color that can do some things, I say, I know Uno was big, right? But I know Phase 10 was invented by a black guy. And it's funny, my mind started to go to work. I said, all right, the only two hottest card games I do know outside of poker and the rest of these other games, Uno and Phase 10. Can we have a third one? And I'm looking at when they invented this stuff back in the 80s when I was like probably 2 or 3, right? Why is that a third one? We need a third one. I was sitting on the name for the card game, but I knew the play already, how I was going to do it. Sometimes, a lot of times, you got to keep moving when everything is not there right now. You're not going to always have everything right there, but that don't mean you should stop. So as I was building, as I was designing the game, I said, I need a name. 3 letters, it got to be quick, it has to be catchy. It's not here yet, but that don't get me to stop. And one day, when I stepped away from it, it came. Because I noticed in my game, you can have 2 ways that you can win. So if there's 2 ways you can win, how about we call it 2 and 1? 2 and 1, that's simple, that's catchy, that's easy. Now remember, 2 and 1, I like that. That is a winner. So before Christmas this year, 2 and 1, a card game is coming out. And if you like Phase 10 and if you love Uno, you're gonna love 2 and 1. It's very addictive, very competitive, I'll tell you. But that's the latest of the card game fiasco outside of the little books I got coming out. But I'm excited about this one. Because this one, it was like, because I made my sample deck of cards already. That's another thing. When you don't have what you need right now, you better go ahead and create a model of it, how you think it's going to be. So I created a sample deck with the staples. You know what I mean? I ordered some cards off of Amazon, started, pasting the drawings together, finding out how it will feel, how it will play. You got to touch it. You know what I mean? Giving people the illusion of how it's going to look before it comes, even when it's not there yet, because I see it, I'm already there. I even took a picture, right, of I went to Rite Aid. It had Uno, Phase 10, and I put my logo 2 and 1 right there. You got to do this stuff ahead of time. If you don't, it's not going to happen. So that's the latest of that.
So all I know, Steve, is that I'm going to have my deck of cards. Okay?
I got you, Mike. I got you. Don't worry about it. And I want you to do a review on this thing. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm just going to give you a disclaimer right now. It's very addictive. It's very competitive. And do not put no money into it because somebody going to be losing money on this thing. But I'm just saying it's very rare because it's 2 ways you can win in this thing. See, Uno, you have to, they got different couple ways. In Phase 10, they got like 10 phases with that. But this one, this put your seatbelt on for this one. That's all I say.
I'm ready because you should see how my people and I are ready with Uno, making up our own rules. So with this game, we're ready, sir. So you just let us know what that is.
I got you.
We will actually start playing this game, sir. Just let us know.
I'm excited.
I love it. I love it, Steve. How can they find you on social media, and how can they purchase your inventions as well?
Well, first off, you can find me on social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, Steve the Legacy. All right. And then my website is stevethelegacy.com. I have my board game, I have books, I have my courses. I have everything on there. 2 and 1 will be pre-selling this October 15th. Very excited about that too as well. And the Wandering 360 is about to do a Kickstarter campaign for that as well. And then the actual original Wandering is going to production this fall. So I'm very excited about a lot of different things. You got to have things planned out accordingly, but that's it from here. But Mike, I really appreciate the opportunity to share my story.
Hey, you're welcome. I'm excited about this game. I'm telling you, I'm excited about this game. Thank you so much, Steve, for being with us and just telling us you as an individual and your words. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Back in a moment.
Next, we have Ernest Miller. Don't you go away.
Protector and provider, super.
Hey, what's up? It's Presley Tennant from The Voice, and you're watching The Michael Finkley Show on Roku and YouTube.
Dark and made it brighter. Wish it could be half that strong.
Keeping your skin flawless and clean is important, and I have the products just for you.
Welcome to Mimi's Natural Pantry, where she specializes in homemade handcrafts, including lye and goat milk soaps, body butters, and sugar scrubs. All items are handmade products. All items have simple ingredients and are vegan friendly. In a world where you can barely pronounce many of the ingredients in your everyday products, Mimi's Back to Nature offers an alternative choice for those who are ready to get back into nature. Ready to order? Visit their website at mimisnaturalpantry.com. All orders over $50 have free shipping up to 25 pounds.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Now, my next guest, he is a fitness coach and a podcast host. He's my good friend, Earnest Miller. Ernest, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome, y'all. We go way back. We met in the arena of Manning, and we're in the same arena when it comes down to informing and educating and inspiring us for our platforms. And so, y'all, he's my good brother. He's my good brother. We're both doing work and trying to make a difference in the world we live in today. So, Ernest, why is service so important to you, and how did you get started in serving others?
I could say pretty much growing up, you know how man it is, man. You might know my grandmother, Miss Helen James. As kids, she put us in that area. You know, we got to serve our people, you know, from church, you know, going to Bible study. After Bible study, we serving food to everyone in church and to our community. It just started from childhood. And, you know, after that, man, it just pillared till I got to an adult. And I want my kids to follow in my footsteps, the example that my grandparents set for me as a child. That's how I got started.
Paying it forward. Someone did it for you, and you're doing it for others, and you want others to do it for others as you are the example. I love that. You do it in so many different ways, Ernest, by way of you being an officer of the law. Like, how did that get started? Did you always want to go into law enforcement?
Well, not really. Not really. The reason why I went into it is an incident that occurred in Jacksonville, Florida, with me and my brother, with an officer that I didn't like. So, you know, me, I'm about that action. Instead of sitting and complaining about it, you know, oh, woe is me. I was like, well, let me get in and be the change. So that was my motivation to go in law enforcement. Plus, retirement ain't too bad either for the benefit. You know, when you got a family, you know, the benefits in retirement ain't bad either.
That part.
Yeah, but pretty much, man, I didn't want to be that guy to sit there and complain about it. And my motto is, you know, why complain about it? You can go in and be the change. You can be that difference maker. You know, that certain officer might see how you carry yourself with somebody. Maybe I can, you know, handle this differently. I saw Miller handle it different. Maybe I can handle it that way. Maybe the outcome become a little better. Instead, you got to go tough guy, rah, rah, rah. Just talk to people. And that's what it came from. I actually started working at the jail, the detention center. And that actually helped me out in my law enforcement career, because instead of you going towards using force, my mouthpiece was my force. I could sit and talk to guys, you know, handle things, smooth it out just by using my mouthpiece. So I got to give working at the jail that credit for helping me establish my law enforcement career. So, yeah. So that's basically why I started law enforcement. The situation happened in Jacksonville, Florida.
Gotcha. We appreciate you for your service and being that officer of the law and keeping us safe while we slumber. So we thank you for that. We definitely thank you for that. And by not only giving into the community, you give another way by way of your podcast as well. How did this all start for you through your office?
Well, the Miller experience pretty much started. I always see people that I would love to interview that I'm interested in. Just pretty much see how they act. Just people that I'm interested in, see how they do things, how they move. So that's how the Miller experience started. Shop Talk started, funny story. It started with a situation in the gym with my brother, myself, and Quentin. We had a big, you watch the social, you know how we get very, animated and stuff. It's same thing happened in the gym.
It's animated, but it's deep. It's some deep stuff.
Yeah, and it's deep. Yeah. So pretty much Quentin was like, yo, y'all boys need to have a podcast or something like that. Really didn't think much of this. Is back in 2017. Really didn't think much about it. But when I started doing the middle experience, and Shop Talk just came to me. So I had Quentin, my brother, Hughes, he also works for the police department. Who else? Gabe, who works for the sheriff department, and a young man named Joe Patterson. These guys are all educated, but they're passionate about what they believe in. And that's why I wanted them on the show. They're educated, they can speak their minds. It don't have to be in an aggressive manner where they're gonna start a fight. They know how to articulate themselves in a professional manner, but still get their point across. They're strong-minded, and I respect these guys. So pretty much, Shop Talk came because, these guys got a lot of views, and they want to put it out there. People scared to talk, man. So I'm like, yo, let's get together. Let's talk about these views that these people scared to talk about, and let's do it.
And that you are doing. What are some of the topics that you do talk about?
Well, Shop Talk?
Yes,
Anything going on. Anything going on in current events, or either anything local. Right now, we start filming in December. So the thing that's really jumping off now is R. Kelly. We might dig deep in R. Kelly. I don't know if you follow the NFL or anything, but John Gruden's emails, sending out racist emails and, talking about women and gays and every such thing. So those might be the top two topics right there. But whatever's going on in current events or in our community, we talking about it.
Gotcha.
I think the latest one we had so far that everyone loved was who was more violent, men or women? We was talking about the situation with Ray Rice, the former NFL running back that played for the Baltimore Ravens. Ray Rice, when incident he had with his wife. But no one never discussed Dwayne Haskins. He's a quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. How his wife beat up on him so bad that her hands were swollen. They couldn't even handcuff him. And he had to sit out 2 games because he had a swollen jaw from his wife punching him. No one ever talks about that. So we talk about the issue that people scared to talk about.
Gotcha. And we need to know these type of things. We need to be informed about these type of things because they are happening in the world around us. So we need to know what's happening. But going back to your service and how you do it, you give. But we also know self-care is important as well. So how do you tie self-care with fitness?
It's all the same. Self-care is fitness. You're taking care of yourself. You got to take care of your insides always. Yeah, you can exercise the brain by reading, studying. That's awesome. That's great. But don't forget your temple. Your body's a temple. God bless you with this body. He wants you to maintain it and keep it. Obesity is killing us, especially our people. You know what I'm saying? Obesity is killing us. And I want my people, health is wealth. That's real. That's real. Health is wealth. That's not just a cat saying, that is real. And I stress that to my clients. I stress that to people. That's why Train So Hard University came about. Not only I want you to train your mental, you got to train that physical too. Be awesome in everything. If you're gonna be fluent academically, you be fluent physically also. Everything coincides. You can be the smartest dude, but you probably ain't gonna be here in about 5 more years because your health is terrible. Yeah. Right? What's the point? What's the point of getting all this education when you ain't gonna be here and reap the benefits what you study so hard for? Because you want to eat a cheeseburger. You want to go to McDonald's, get them fries. What's the point of doing all this when you ain't taking care of your physical? Yeah. Right? So that's why it's important. I got to let my people see that. Now, granted, I have a cheat day every blue moon, but I work so hard I can do that. Yeah. But a lot of people have a cheat day every day. And you got to stop this, man. You got to stop this. So, yeah, health as well. That's why I'm so passionate with my clients and people when I come to fitness or when I'm training my clients. So I want to see them. I want to see them live. Some of these people got kids. Some of these people in their mid-30s, they taking 16 pills a day. You in your mid-30s, you're taking 16 pills a day because things you've been doing your whole life, eating this crap. That's crazy to me. Wow. That is crazy to me. And it's us. We doing that to ourselves. Yeah. So you see how passionate I just got, right?
Exactly. And that's why I had to ask this question. How are you promoting fitness in Manning? And what are you doing to change that narrative?
Just being an example. You see my videos, you see how hard I work out. It's not even that, man. I gotta set an example just by you can't see me in certain places. When you see me in a grocery store, you see my cart. You see certain foods that I have in my cart that's gonna benefit my health. Not only am I setting an example just by doing my videos and talking about it, I gotta set an example outside too, because people watch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. People are watching every little move that I make. They say, "Oh, now come on, man, you see me now." Like I said, every blue moon I might have a cheat meal. I don't want to talk about that because some people are not on that level where they can get to a cheat meal. They're gonna think, "Oh, Earnest do it. Oh, I can do it too." So that's why you don't see me posting my cheat meal or anything like that. So I lead by example and also visual too. So I know somebody's watching, somebody's listening. So I got to be on point 24/7.
Always, because they look up to you guys. They look up to you. They're a great example of what they strive to be, including including me. So please don't please be that example that we need. What's next? You do so much. You do so much for others, your family.
Sky's the limit, brother. Sky's the limit. I got some things going on to work on supplement right now, pre-workout. I don't want to talk too much about that. It's still in the works. We got season 2 of Shop Talk and the Mill Experience coming in February, so look out for that. Got some big guests coming up on that. Probably some new members on Shop Talk, so be ready for that. Train So Hard University, we got a commercial coming up soon. We probably filming in December. Got the website coming. So, just look out for that, man. We coming, baby. Can't stop right here, baby. You can't stop. Won't stop
over here. I love it.
I ain't built like that, man. I can't sit down. I ain't built like that.
Oh, well, how can they follow you on social media?
All right, man. You can follow me on Facebook at Excalibur Miller. You can follow me on Instagram at the Miller Experience. My YouTube channel is the Miller Experience. Please make sure you share, you subscribe, comment, like, dislike. I don't care. Just tell me you watching. You know what I'm saying? Just tell me you watching. I don't care what you do. You can also contact my brother. He's a co-owner of Train So Hard University on Prodigal Son 36. He's just on Instagram right now. And pretty soon I'll put out the website. It's probably going to be www.tshuforlife.com. That website is coming soon also.
All right. A lot of good stuff, Ernest.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Same to you, brother. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you so much.
I'm proud of you, man. You're doing big things. I'm proud of you, man. You're making Manning look good, man.
I always say Manning is my second home. Manning was good to me. And it still is good. So even though I wasn't raised there, I'm a part of y'all.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
Part of y'all. Yeah. And I thank you, Ernest, for being with us today and sharing your story. Y'all go check out his platform, please, because I'm telling you, you will get something out of it. And hopefully one day you'll see Michael Finkley on there on his platform.
Yeah, man, most definitely. Season 2. Hey, now, Mike, when you come on Shop Talk, Mike, hey, man, get your popcorn ready.
I mean, even why I watch y'all on YouTube. Listen. You go in. They go in and they go in depth.
We go in, but it's still all love, man. I know on the cameras it might look like, but behind the scenes, man, it's still love, man. Like we all going to a football game next month, all of us. Yeah.
It's definitely love right there. But go check them out. Your information in the description below. Again, thank you, Ernest, for being with us. Really appreciate you.
Thank you, Mike, man. Peace, man.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on all your success also, brother.
Thank you so much.
Entertainer Q Grisby here. I am here on the Michael Finkley Show. Please tune in and watch on RokuTV and YouTube.
Calling all Trio, Gear Up, JAG, and other college readiness organizations. Hello everybody, it's Finkley with the Finkley Experience. I am here to offer you information about our college readiness cohort series.
This college readiness series includes college applications, SAT, ACT prep, scholarships, financial aid, the mental mind state, HBCU versus PWI versus technical colleges, and so much more.
You know, this is helpful because it's actually like making me change my college plan.
Really? If you're interested, visit our website, thefinkleyexperience.com, or just email us at michael@thefinkleyexperience.com. We're looking forward to working with you.
So if it's one thing that I learned over the years and time of becoming what they call high value and high character, is knowing your worth is probably the most important key. There's so many things in life right now that people just take. You don't have to take anything. You don't have to take any disrespect from nobody. You don't have to take anything that you feel is not worth you having. Whether it's a job, whether that's a relationship, anything that you are part of, if you feel like this thing is treating you below your worth, get out of it, remove yourself out of the situation. Knowing your worth also comes from within. So when you know your worth, this comes from the confidence of repetition, working on yourself. Don't let nobody give you anything. Again, push yourself. You know what you're worth. You know yourself better than anybody else. So why would you allow somebody to just give you anything? I always said, if you feel like you worth $100 or however much you feel like you worth, don't let nobody give you $999.99. Make sure they give you $100. Demand your $100. Don't settle for less at all, because now you're cheating yourself. Once you cheat yourself, you start to feel like, dang, I'm cheating myself. In the back of your head, you know this, and you can't even be happy for whatever situation you're in because you're below your worth. When you get to a relationship, when you get to a job, when you get to a position where it's your worth, it just makes you want to push forward. It makes you want to work better. It makes you happier. You feel more, welcoming doing it. But when you below your worth, especially in your relationship, somebody treating you below your worth, please get out that relationship, move forward, and find you somebody or work on yourself for the time being until you figure out that, okay, this person loves me, this person values me, this person, admire me, this job value me, this position value me, they treat me above my worth, they give me what I need, they give me what I'm asking for, demand what you're asking for. If they're not trying to give you what you're asking for, let it go. Demand your respect, demand your worth, and go get it.
Family, this is King Randall. Right now, you're watching the Michael Finkley Show on YouTube and RokuTV.
School districts, organizations, nonprofits, are you in search of a new promotional products company?
Seekers Promotional Products is a Black-owned national company with over 780,000 products to choose from. Compared to other promotional products companies, they have the lowest prices in the industry. From pens, bags, shirts, they got you covered. They always remember that you are the customer and you come first. They always promise fast production and also fast delivery. With Seekers Promotional Products Company, you truly have the best. Check out their website at seekerspromotions.com and also on Facebook and LinkedIn.
And tell them Finkley sent you.
Next, Finkley. He is the guy you know. Entertainer reporter Nick Gallo is with us. He talks with us about his rise in the industry, how he got started, celebrity friends, future plans, and more. You do not want to miss this exclusive interview with Nick. Friday.
Hey, welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. I hope that you learned something from our guest today. Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you so much, Earnest, for being with us and sharing your experiences in your words. And again, much success to you both. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Michael Finkley Show. Ring the bell for notification when you see an email saying, hey, new content's uploaded. Please listen to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And for more information about what we do here, visit our website at michaelfinkleyshow.com. RokuTV. I knew you were going to ask, so I just helped you out there. Add the Greater Words Network to your RokuTV and watch the Michael Finkley Show every Monday and Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or on demand. Thank you so much for watching, and guess what? We'll see you next time. Have a good one.